Welcome back to Andersen Acres. We're here for our weekly roundup where we go through each day, talk about what happened, and then at the end on Friday, we answer a question somebody had. So today is Saturday, and what did we do on Saturday? Well, we smoked a turkey, so that was really exciting for us. We smoked a turkey, and it turned out beautifully. I had a turkey sandwich, just homemade bread and butter and salt and pepper and the smoked turkey. It was delightful. And we also moved our little chick, our singleton chick, Lucky, to his cage so we can move the cage around the house so he can stay with us. Here's Blue. I don't know why he's in there. They're not trapped in there, by the way. Sometimes people ask, can they get out? Yeah, they can go back through the barn the way they got in. But we moved Lucky to his little enclosure. We checked on our baby bunnies, who are all currently thriving. We collected eggs for hatching and for eating. So it's been a pretty typical day here on the farm, with the exception of course, smoke of the turkey. We don't do that every day. Otherwise, it's been a pretty typical day. Everyone is doing just fine. All our bunnies are thriving, looking good, looking happy and healthy. And even Zai here, our newest member of the farm, has has gotten happy with his buddies. So they're all hanging out doing their buddy thing. Yeah, they're all happy. And Rowan's going to be out to feed them shortly. Silverado doesn't like friends. He doesn't want friends. He's decided he hates other bunnies. So he doesn't get friends. But that is literally about all that happened on Saturday. So it was a nice, quiet day, not too cold, not hot, beautiful day out on the farm. Hopefully, Sunday is just as nice. Well, it's Sunday. And I know it doesn't look it now because it's clouded over and it's getting late in the day and the wind is picking up, but it was actually a beautiful day. All day. We were so happy and excited. There's the rooster. It's not morning. Don't worry about him. But it was so beautiful. We were so happy with how gorgeous the day was. So we're excited. It's warming up. Though we might get snow on Tuesday. So, hopefully not. Hopefully we don't get any snow on Tuesday. There's like horsehair and dog hair everywhere because everyone's shedding. So there's white hair literally everywhere. So when you see all the white hair, that's the horse and the dog. It's exciting. We'll see what Monday brings. Well, it's Monday. It got colder. I don't know what's going on, but this sucks. And it might rain tomorrow or possibly snow. So, gross. I'm not happy about it. I am not happy about it. But, you know, we're all good. Ducks are over in the compost pile. Other than that, what did we do today? Candled some chicken eggs, had really good fertility. Looks like we're going to get quite the batch of from the number of eggs I set. Looks like it's not going to be bad at all. So, yeah, we're happy about that. Yay on us. Yeah, yay on us. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. So, we did that today. And we checked on the baby bunnies. They're a week old tomorrow. They're doing well. And we checked on our chonky pregnant ladies. 2 of these are pregnant. And Stump here in the front is molting. She will molt out to her nice deep chocolate color. Right now, she's just in the middle of it. That's what happens. Sometimes you're just in the middle of it. That's what's going on here. And Trunk is still here. So that's what's been going on here today at Andersen Acres. Well, it's Tuesday. And it's been raining literally all afternoon. It's the most annoying thing on the planet. I hate it so much. Arwen's having a temper tantrum because she wants some hay, but she has some hay. She's just having a temper tantrum over it, even though she has hay. We're not going to worry about it because she has hay. So what did we do today? Well, we just locked down the duck eggs. So hopefully we have 4 or 5 baby ducklings. It was a small batch, small test batch. Hopefully we have 4 or 5 baby ducklings come the weekend. That would be lovely. I would love to have some baby ducklings. And everyone is doing okay today. It's raining again. I came out to film now because it wasn't raining, but it's raining again. Oh my god. It's not that I resent the rain, it's just that I would like to have a couple of sunny days. Like, is that too much to ask? A couple of sunny days in a row so that we can enjoy the sunshine. Is that really too much to ask? Apparently, the answer is yes. Here's my duck, Dolly. That's my duck. Hi, sweetheart. I love my duck. That's my duck. These are the other ducks. But basically, today what's been going on is rain. At least it didn't snow. In parts of our province, they got snow. It was just warm enough here that it stayed to rain. And by just warm enough, I still mean it was freaking cold all day. But everyone seems to have survived the rain. Even Arwen is like, I don't care, I'm staying outside. I'm sick of being in the barn. So she's staying outside. Blue's out in the rain. He doesn't care. I care. I'm going back in the house. Hopefully, tomorrow, it's not raining. That'd be nice. Well, it's Wednesday. Arwen says hello. What happened on Wednesday? I had a duck emergency, which turned out to just be me overreacting. I thought the ducks were gone. They're here. They're fine. I thought the ducks were gone. They're here, all 6 of them. I thought they were gone. So what happened was, I couldn't see the ducks. I couldn't hear the ducks. Oh my god, I panicked. I made my son come up here, and I made my dad come over, and I'm like, okay, we gotta find the stupid ducks. Where are the stupid ducks? And where were the stupid ducks? I'll show you. That's why we're walking this way. This is our wood pile to be burned this year. You know, this is where we age the wood so that it can do its thing. The ducks were out here. There's like a whole bunch of little grubs that they like to eat. Hi, DK. Whole bunch of little grubs that they like to eat. And they were very excited about it. But they weren't making any noise, so I didn't know where they were. I literally had, Tristan was way out on the other side of these trees. I was way down over that way. My dad was over that way. And we were all just looking for these dang ducks. I was so worried. I love my ducks. I don't want to lose my ducks. So that was today's excitement. Duck nonsense. I was so worried that we were going to lose these ducks. We didn't. We didn't lose the ducks. They are here. They are fine. They are safe. I was, of course, afraid something got them, which nothing should have, because the dogs were here, but I couldn't find them. They're here. It's fine. So that was the entirety of my Wednesday morning, and then the rest of Wednesday proceeded as pretty much normal. We'll see what happens on Thursday. Well, it's Thursday, and tequila's in the way. Tequila's in the way. Gwen had 3 perfect little baby kittens. I can't see. I can't see them. Yeah, Gwen loves tequila. Gwen loves tequila. And Gwen has no problem having tequila help her. I just want to see the babies. So kittens were born today. Tequila, move so I can see. Thank you. But so that's what's going on Thursday. 3 neat, sweet little babies. So yes, 3 neat, sweet little babies. I'm just fascinated by them. There's Gwen. She doesn't really care if the dogs are in here. She loves the dogs. So that's what's going on here on Thursday. Gwen had 3 beautiful little babies. I don't know why she had them in the middle of the floor on the garage. but she did. Let's see what happens Friday. Well, it's Friday. It is Friday. And what did we do today? We took Vodka to the vet. So Vodka got to go to the vet. Very excited for poor old Vodka. He loves going to the vet. Not so much, but he's very good. So we took him to the vet. Clean bill of health, 155 pounds. Excellent job, Vodka. And that wrapped up our week. It's been a bit of a week, including having to look after the newborn kittens. So the question I got today, I didn't get it today. I didn't get it today, but the question I got recently was about cats. So let's wander over to the kittens. First we'll wander to the rabbits, but we'll end up at the kittens. The question I got was, why do we let our cats have kittens? And by the way, there's Mama Cat. There's some ducks, but there's Mama Cat, and that is not yet a Mama Cat. But Gwen there, looking good, feeling good. She's a beautiful cat. This is the Mama. So she's doing well. Her babies are doing well. We'll go check on them in a minute. That's Mama. But why do we let our cats have kittens is the question I get to field this week. So, simple question, really. And I understand the whole thing about getting your cat spayed. In fact, Gwen will get spayed this year because, frankly, how many babies does she need to have? Probably not that many. So this is her third litter. My rule for cats is 3 litters, then you get spayed. My rule for dogs is 2 litters, then you get fixed. Unless you are a bad mom the first time around, then you get fixed right off the hop. That's the way it goes. So why do we let our cats have kittens? I know that in a lot of areas, cats are overpopulated. Barn cats are a dime a dozen. I know that. I am very aware. However, if you want barn cats where I am, comes Gwen. If you want barn cats where I am, you have a problem. We don't have that many barn cats. So a good barn cat is not just some cat. Okay? A good barn cat is not just some cat that you found in the ducks. But it's not just some cat that you found in a dumpster. My cats are working cats, except for Magic, who is like 20 years old. Except for Magic, my cats are working cats. Working cats are needed to do a job. And in our case, we need the cats to keep the rodent population down. And there are not a plethora of barn cats where we live. Okay? So that's for 2 reasons. First of all, we had a really successful spay and neuter program a few years ago. And those few years, we got baby kittens. Look at that. Oh, look at the babies. So beautiful. Aw. That's so lovely. And Mama, you're such a good mama. Yeah. So, barn cats, there aren't that many of them here. And you can't really get them from a shelter. So, our shelters don't really adopt out barn cats. We don't really have like feral cat programs. Our local humane society has like a barn buddy program. But the problem with the barn buddy program is you have to have a heated shelter for them. They are cats that were feral and they need to be outside because they're not suited for house life. But you need to have a heated shelter. That takes us off the list because I'm not heating my barn. None of my animals need heat, even in 40 below. There's so many of them in the barn that they're fine. They don't need it, right? They do not need to be heated. And I'm not putting heat in the barn when I don't need it or want it, when it would actually be detrimental to Shadowfax. He should not be in a heated barn at night and then go out into 40 below during the day. That would be so bad for his respiratory system. So we're not doing that. Okay, we are not doing that. Here's wildfire. So because I have no intention of doing that, we can't get the Barn Buddies kittens. Cats. They're never kittens, which is another problem. If you have smaller animals like we do, like baby bunnies and baby chicks running around, you can't bring an adult cat into that because they're going to eat your little birds and your little bunnies. Okay, it's not safe. And I like having everybody free-ranging. I don't want to have to lock up my 2-week-old ducklings and not let them run around on the grass because the cats might eat them. That would be annoying. Okay? That would be annoying. So, I don't want to do that. So, I can't get an adult cat anyway. And neither can anybody else who really wants to have barn cats with their smaller animals. So, where does that leave people like me who need working barn cats? And they don't just want to grab a cat out of a dumpster. They actually want cats that perhaps have a little bit of history. You know, their parents were hunters and their parents were hunters. So the reason I keep Gwen's children, it seems like I keep Gwen's kids every year, and I kind of do. I'm probably keeping another one. I'm going to be honest, I might be keeping that dilute tortie. So she had 3 kittens. She had a gray and white, and she had a dilute tortie. I'm going to be honest, I might be keeping that dilute tortie. I know. I said I wasn't keeping any of them, but I kind of want to. It's off topic. But I keep Gwen's kittens because Gwen is our premier hunter. Okay? Nobody is as good as she is. Jake there's not bad. DK is abysmal. He's not abysmal. He's just, when you compare him to the girls, he's not as good. Okay? So he's not horrific. He's just, when you compare him to someone like Gwen is like the best mouser you've ever met in your life. She's so good. And I really don't want a cat that doesn't hunt. So I keep her children because her children are darn good hunters. Bowser and Wildfire are both so good hunters. They're really good hunters. Such good hunters. My English is failing me. I have an English degree. What's wrong with me? Doesn't matter. But it's really one of those things where frankly, if I want quality barn cats, I almost have to breed them myself. Like, it's hard to find a quality barn cat here. And I know the whole spay and neuter thing. Pippin in the house is spayed. Magic has been neutered since he was 8 months old. So they are fixed. DK is our Tom. And we also live... Okay, it's important to note that nobody else has cats here. Like, do you see a house? No. Do you see a house? No. Do you see a house? No. There is a house that way. You have to go kind of far, but there is a house that way. He doesn't have cats. So, nobody even has cats here. So, I had someone say, well, maybe you shouldn't have a male then. They'll probably still get pregnant. Maybe, but there isn't any boys around. DK's literally the only boy. So, what am I supposed to do if I need barn kittens? I need barn kittens. I love barn kittens. I love them. I need them. So, look at all the animals we have. And we are like haphazard about things around here. So, part of our problem is that there's like open feed bags, and there's rabbit food left out, and there's chicken feed all over the place, and we're a little bit haphazard. There's a duck. So we're a little bit haphazard. And that's okay. We're allowed to be haphazard. You know, not everyone has to be Pinterest perfect. And the thing is, if we didn't have the cats taking care of the rodents, we would be overrun with rats. We would open a hay bale and mice would pop out. We would open our grain bin and, oh, hello, rats. So the thing is, I am really not wanting to deal with rodents. And getting quality barn cats is not as easy here as it is in some places. I know in some places you can go to any shelter and you can show up and you can get a couple of feral kittens and ta-da, barn cats. Hi. Why are your feet muddy? You been digging in the mud? Yeah? He's also molting. It's molting season for some of these guys because winter's over. So that's why we have our cats and let them have kittens. This will be Gwen's last litter. Jake and Bowser have only ever had one litter each, so they'll be allowed to have, they're both excellent mothers, by the way. They will be allowed to have litters again. And Wildfire is not having kittens. She's young. Do I want kittens from Wildfire? You bet your butt I do. I love that cat. I want Gwen's descendants forever. That's my goal here. I want Gwen's children forevermore. And when magic passes, we are going to keep a little boy as well, and we will get him fixed, and he's going to be one of our house cats. Because you also need cats in your house for the mice. Because seriously, I don't know where this chicken's going. She's in a rush. He's in a rush. That's lonesome. I think I said she. There's Sauron. We thought Sauron was dead. He's not. He's fine. But basically, that's why we let our cats have kittens. I know not everyone agrees with it. That's okay. But there's not another efficient way for us to get the barn cats we want. Like, Jake is such a good barn cat. She's a good cat. We wouldn't trade her for the world. And I had such a hard time letting her babies go last year. If you've been following for a while, you might remember Mittens. I didn't want to let him go, but another lady really wanted him, and she was so in love with him, and I let him go. Will you have another Mittens for me? Her kittens were sweethearts. So, all of her kittens, all of Gwen's kittens, all of Bowser's kittens, and eventually all of Wildfire's will go to wonderful vetted homes. Okay? They're not going to random people in random places. These are people who contact me, who want a kitten. And a lot of these people, like last year, Bowser's kittens, people were waiting weeks for them. They were waiting literal weeks. Okay? So these are not kittens that are unwanted. They're not kittens that I have difficulty placing in homes. Okay? These are kittens. There's ducks doing duck stuff. These are kittens that are desperately wanted. Okay? These are kittens that are desperately wanted by me and by all the people who take them home. These are not kittens that are discarded and find their way into shelters and end up abandoned on the side of the road. These are kittens who are going to homes where they will be loved, adored, and have a job to do as barn cats. Okay? So it's just like if we let Tequila have puppies, those dogs are working dogs. These are animals that are existing for a purpose. Here's little Wildfire. Remember when she was a little tiny baby? She's a grown lady now. She's a lady. She's so pretty. But anyway, I hope that answers that question. It's okay if you don't agree. Not everyone agrees with everything. That, by the way, is a blue heron. That is fantastic. That was actually fantastic. I didn't get a very good shot, but it was a blue heron. That was nice. Anyway, you probably didn't see very much of it, but it's a blue heron. Anyway, I am about to wrap up, go inside, and wrap up for the evening. But it's okay if you don't agree with me. It's okay if you would rather get shelter cats. It's okay if your shelter has cats that are suitable for rehoming to outdoor homes. That's fine. We live in the middle of nowhere. We barely even have a shelter here. And our local humane society only has a barn buddies program that we don't qualify for. So, sometimes that's just the way it is. Anyway, that's about it for us here today at Andersen Acres. Go ahead and drop your questions in the comments below. I promise I do read them, even if I don't always respond. We'll see you tomorrow.